How we doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Thanks again for joining us. We have head coach Mike Woodson here. Just want to reinforce a couple of the reminders. Please silence all cell phones, name and media affiliation with your question. If you're joining on Zoom, please use the raise hand function for questions, and recording with phone or cameras is prohibited. We'll open it up to questions for Mike Woodson.
Zach Osterman, Indianapolis Star. Mike, you've referenced those early meetings with Trace a lot in the last few months, just how much it meant to you and how much that bond sort of grew in those first days when Trace committed to coming back after you got the job. Do you think about that more now, recognizing that wherever this journey ends, ultimately the finish line is in sight, whether it's here next weekend after that?
All I can say it's been everything to our program. You know, had he left, to me it would have been just like starting all over again, you know, being a first-time coach. And for him to make the commitment to come back, it really set the stage for where we are today. Because he didn't have to do that. He could have left and went and did his own thing. But it put us in a better position from a program standpoint. And he and I have been able to develop this relationship and help each other. Yes, it hadn't been pretty all the time, but that's a part of coaching. You know, I would be stupid to sit here and say that I don't want the best for my players, because I don't think there's a coach in the world that doesn't want the best for his players. And I only coach one way, and it's hard for me to change. I push players to play at a high level. That's important to me. And in doing that, you learn how to be a better basketball player. You know, I have a track record for that. So I thought last season was a great season for him, and this season he's kind of knocked it out of the park because we've rode him all the way to this point.
Yeah, Mike, Rick Bozich, WDRB in Louisville. Kent State ranks among the top 20, top 25 teams in the country in forcing turnovers. What's the secret to you guys not letting them get going on that way and creating easy offense off their defense?
Well, every night that we play, even when we step on the practice floor, I'm always stressing take care of the basketball. The key to winning and beating any team, you have to defend and rebound the ball, and you can't turn it over. And if you do those three things, you're going to put yourself in position to win. I mean, I don't care who you play. Kent State is a great team. They're well coached. They've had a great season up until this point, just like we have. And I don't want to go home, and I'm sure his coach is saying the same thing. He doesn't want to go home. You know, I want to extend this season as long as we can for Trace Jackson Davis and the surrounding pieces, because I think that they deserve that. So in order to get that done, we got to commit for 40 minutes when we step out on that floor tomorrow night and see what happens.
Tom Bruce, Sports Illustrated, Indiana. Mike, you all those years in the NBA, I mean, basically Friday night is another Game 7. The one-and-done aspect of this tournament, what changes for you this week in regards to preparation or what you might do during those 40 minutes knowing that it's basically another Game 7?
It's like do or die. You know what I mean? You can't get around it. You know, it's the little things. You know, I put on the board every game, simple plays win basketball games, and they do. You know, you can't overcomplicate things. You can't change who you are. You know what I mean? We've won a lot of games with our defense this year. And when we've added some good offense with our defense, we've really, really been good. So tomorrow night is not going to change. I mean, we're playing a damn good basketball team, and we got to come ready and committed. You know what I mean? Because You win, you go on. You lose, you go home and have to deal with it over the summer and think about all the things probably you should have did to extend your season. And I'm not ready to go home, and I hope the players feel the same way.
Hi, Coach. Ralph Russo from the Associated Press. You understood the challenges of this job when you took it, but what are the challenges of building a program at a place where the expectations are so high and they really haven't been met lately? How do you go about sort of incremental growth when everybody's sort of dying for a championship?
Well, again, I mean, this is not my first go-around. I built a couple of teams, the Hawks, the Knicks, and it's no different here. You know, yes, expectations are high, and I knew that coming in. Hell, I played here. They should be high, and it's okay. You know, I'm not a coach that's ever run from a challenge. Yeah, there are always naysayers around me, but if I listen to that, man, I can't do my job. Indiana is a big-time program. It's been that way for years, and I'm just trying to get them back on top, man. That's all I care about. It's not about Mike Woodson. It's about the players that I coach and this program. That's what means more to me than anything. You know, I mean, I don't know how long I'm going to do this, you know, but while I'm doing it, I got to try to put my best foot forward to make sure that we can get back on top.
Mike, we're talking about Kent State's defense a lot, but you look at Sincere Carey, the kid can score. What is it about his game that translates so much, and how important is it to make sure you know where he is at all times on the court?
Well, again, it's Carey, it's Jacobs, it's Thomas. I mean, they got weapons all over the court. You know, we just got to be solid in what we do. Carey is kind of the guy that drives this team, and he does a lot of good things offensively in terms of getting the ball where it's got to go, and he can score the basketball. So I don't think, you know, you go into this game saying, hey, you just going to stop. I mean, they got some pieces that everybody's got to be aware of, key matchups all over the floor that we got to commit for 40 minutes to defend. And then we got to make them play us.
Yeah, Mike, Rick Bozich again, WDRB in Louisville. I think Trace has given you Player of the Year performance all year long, and Jalen Hood-Schifino has been very good. How important is it for you to get a third or a fourth piece offensively that sort of gets up to the next level?
It's very important. I think as we continue this journey, Tamar and Bates and Miller Kopp and Gallo and Geronimo, the guys that play, Malik, they got to give us more. You know, this tournament, you know, over the years has been driven by teams that have 3 and 4 scorers. 2 or 3 guys that can make the long ball consistently. And, you know, we've been good at times in those areas because when Tamara, Bates, and Gallo, and Geronimo, and Malik are playing well and scoring the ball, it's a deadly combination with our defense, and we've been damn good when we've been doing that. So that's how we got to think going into this tournament. You know, everybody's got to do their part. You know, that's how you advance, and only time will tell.
Matt Rybaltowski with Forbes. To expound on Ralph's question from before, how challenging has NIL made your job over the last 2 years, and did you ever envision it creating such a sea change throughout college basketball?
Well, again, you know, we didn't have this when I was in school. So for me, you know, me being new at this, there's a lot of moving pieces that I'm still trying to figure out as a coach. But the NIL is what it is. It's very challenging. I don't deal with the NIL. You know, we have outside people that run our NIL. And I like to think we're sitting at the top when it comes to the NIL. You know, based on our support from our Indiana base, which is pretty damn good. So by me saying we're sitting at the top, it puts a lot of athletes in a good position when making a decision to come to Indiana University to play basketball or football or whatever sport it may be. But that's not what's driving me. You know, these players understand how I feel about the NIL. If you're going to come play for Mike Woodson, you're going to have to go to school and get an education, play basketball, and NIL takes care of itself.
Anyone else? Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys.